Good day, everybody. Back in the car with the pups. Just finished at the park. We're heading home. Thought I'd do a quick video. It's been a couple weeks. I went to CNYCON last weekend and I had a blast. It was about a 4.5 hour, 5-hour drive. I had to stop in Hamburg, New York to pick something up at a friend's place because I ordered something that I didn't want to ship to Canada because shipping to Canada was like almost as much as the item I ordered. So shipping to him was $12 US. So it's a no-brainer. I was going down that way anyway, so stopped in, picked it up, went on to the con, and I had a blast. I got to play with Double D of Diversity and Dragons and his wife and a couple of other divers. That's what he calls his channel members, his subscribers, the divers. And we played Hyperborea. I've never played it before, but I own the game, and it's quite good. Made by a guy called Jeff Talanian, and I was hoping he would be at the con this year, but apparently he wasn't. He couldn't make it. There's a number of cons going on right now. I think right now this weekend is Origins. Double D's at that one. I'm not going to go all the way to where the hell is it? It's Wisconsin or something. I'm not going to go all the way to Wisconsin to play. A 4-hour drive to New York to play RPG for a weekend, that I'm willing to do. You know, I used to go all the way to Chesapeake to play Airsoft. But you know, I've decided that it's just too expensive to go for a 4-day weekend kind of thing to Chesapeake. Because I can't drive there. I drove there once. It was like a 13.5-hour drive. I'll never do that again. So every time I would go, I would fly, but that gets expensive. A weekend trip costing several $1,000s. Versus this, where I drove down, so no airfare, and then my hotel stay was about $1,000 for the weekend, for basically Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, and then I checked out on Monday. I probably could have checked out on Sunday, because Sunday the con was winding down. But anyway, yeah, so I got to play Hyperborea. Great little OSR, sword and sorcery, weird science fantasy kind of setting. Think Conan the Barbarian with Thundar the Barbarian. So the setting's described as like post apocalypse. Apparently Hyperborea is a moon of Saturn, of all things, and the world is in absolute ruin. But yeah, it's a fun little game. I played a barbarian, and we ended up investigating this weird glowing light, and turns out it was a spaceship, and there was a bunch of MyGo and an Elder thing, and yeah, so we rocketed off into space by the end of the adventure, but not going to get too into that. Another highlight of the weekend was I got to play Dragon Slayer with the great Greg Gillespie. He's a fellow Canuck. He's not far from where I live. He's about 40 minutes away, and yeah, he ran a game of his game Dragon Slayer, and I didn't die. We were a bunch of level 3 heroes, and I was playing a halfling thief, and I think we were level 3. My sheet said level 3, but I don't think he updated my hit points, because I'm looking at all the other character sheets. Everybody had, like 23, 29 hit points. And I know my guy's just a thief, but he had 7 hit points. So, but I didn't die, even though he promised to kill me. As a fellow Canadian, he says, "Oh, I'll kill you first." Anyway, great news. I got him to promise to attend JonCon. So that's kind of cool. That's a great get. I'll probably even include him as a celebrity GM, and I'll see if I can bat my baby green eyes and maybe get him to donate a signed copy of Dragon Slayer or the Barrel Maze as either a door prize or as a silent auction item or whatever. But we'll see. The whole idea, we got to raise money for the church. So getting him to come and run a game or two, that would be that's pretty awesome. I got a meeting about John Con tomorrow after church, so that'll be good. Other highlights. Oh, so there was this game called Arduin, which is again another OSR kind of clone, and it's run by, I can't remember the name, but basically they're a miniature company. They make a bunch of really cool pewter miniatures, and not a lot of people are making pewter miniatures anymore. Everybody's just doing plastic, or they're selling STL files. Anyway, they were super generous. The first night they had a movie night. We watched Conan the Barbarian. I didn't stick around for the whole thing because I've seen it probably 12 times. But yeah, we watched Conan the Barbarian. But before the festivities began, they handed out a little gift pack. It had like a bunch of character cards and spell cards and rules, quick start rules, and a bunch of really cool art, and it made playing the game Arduin on the Saturday so easy, so much fun. But yeah, they gave that out. They gave these cards. And then they gave out a little keychain that was in the shape of Conan's Atlantean sword. And then the next day, when we played Arduin, everybody who played Arduin got like a letter opener sized Conan Atlantean sword. So we got some really cool swag from a lot of great vendors and game manufacturers. And while I've never been to North Texas old school RPG Con, everybody's saying that CNYCON is going to be North Texas Con for the North, basically, because it's just really great people who appreciate the roots of the game and like the OSR feel, and create and run games in that genre. And yeah, I had a great time. Greg Gillespie is a hell of a GM and a great game creator too. I bought a bunch of his books while I was down there. So I already had the Dragon Slayer rule book, our core book, and he had a bunch of his other stuff on sale. And I bought the Barrow Maze, which is his mega dungeon, and then I bought a thick, I guess it's also a mega dungeon campaign setting called Highfell, which takes place in the same world as Dragon Slayer, but it's like a big thick book that covers like the adventure of this mystical place called Highfell, which is like this floating island in the sky with a bunch of like castles and ancient ruins on it. And I guess it qualifies as a mega dungeon because there's a bunch of encounter spaces to really thick book of encounter spaces to explore for players. And it's going to take me forever to read it. And the way he described it when I was speaking to him is it would take you, if you ran the whole either one of them, the whole mega dungeon, it would take your characters, it would take the group, and you played once a week, it would take the group about 2 years to get through the whole thing, which is that's a lot of content for the money. So I was happy to give money to Greg and buy his books, because I gotta say, Dragon Slayer, it has the 1E feel that I sort of cut my teeth on. So when I first started playing D&D back in 1983-84, we were playing Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, first edition. I don't even think it wasn't even called first edition because second edition hadn't come out yet. Hi, sweetheart. So yeah, we were playing that, and that's the D&D that I recall. Now I've played third edition and fifth edition, a bunch of other editions in between that. But you know what? I've just got a certain love of 1E. It's deadly, but still being high adventure, still being still being meaty enough that you can really progress a character. And it's come down to it that I'm basically a forever GM. I'm always GMing, but quite frankly, I love it because I like being the center of attention. I like making voices, and that kind of stuff. Anyway, so Trinity's going to start barking in a second. But anyway, yeah, there she goes. Had a great time. If you're if you're one of my American viewers and it's within reach, next year go to CNYCON. Thank you, Roger Rebes, for running it. It's a great con, and I can only see it growing from here. And pick up Dragon Slayer. It's a great 1E clone, old school D&D, and Greg Gillespie is a great guy. So I fully encourage everyone to support him and play some old school. All right, folks, we're back. Shut up. Okay, bye-bye.